Good morning, class 7. Today's topic of discussion is the second chapter, motion. The word motion is very much familiar to us. Okay, when we move, there is motion. When we don't move, there is no motion, or in other words, we are at rest. So, a simple way to define motion is by knowing these two particular words, rest. Before motion, we need to know what is rest. What is rest? The body is at rest when it does not change its position. The key word over here is position. Okay, there is this position of the body which does not change. When you consider the surroundings, right now I am here in a room. Behind me is a blackboard. I am standing next to the blackboard. I keep on standing here. Time passes by. My position does not change. I remain here. Some more time passes by. I am still here. So, what is my position? What is my surrounding? My surrounding right now, as you can see it, is this blackboard. And my position is next to the blackboard. It is not changing. I am still here, next to the blackboard. So, I am at rest. Now, next thing, I keep on moving left and right, or away from the blackboard, and this way and that way. So, as I am doing that, my position keep on changing with respect to this blackboard. You can say this blackboard is my surrounding. As you can see in this video, you cannot see the walls because it is hidden from your view. I can see it, but as of you who is seeing this video, for you this blackboard is my surrounding, as you can see. So I move away, come near, go this way and that way. As I do this, my position is changing with respect to this blackboard. So when it happens that way, that the position keep on changing with respect to the surroundings, then the body is in motion. So while the body is in motion, its position changes. Consider a runner, okay, one who runs, running race. So before the race begins, all the runners have to assemble near a starting point. There is one line, there is the starting point. All have to align or stand in that line. So that line becomes our starting point or the reference point or the surrounding. Now as the starter slams the cardboard piece or shoots the gun, the runners start running. And what happens when they start running? This is the starting point. As they run, they go away from the starting point. Isn't it? So as the runner runs, the distance from the starting point and that particular runner increases and keep on increasing. Okay? So the position is changing. And when position changes, the body is in motion or the runner is in motion. So these two words have to be very much familiar to us. Rest and motion. Okay, a body is at rest when its position does not change with respect to its surroundings. A body is in motion when its position changes with respect to the surroundings. Next thing that you should know is that rest and motion are relative terms. I will explain to you what is relative terms in a bit. First of all, let us consider an example. Alright. Consider that you are traveling in a bus. You are traveling in a bus and you have a seat. You are sitting in your seat. So when you are sitting, the bus is moving. What do you say about your position? Think and tell. What will be your position? Is it changing? As the bus is moving, so you are in the bus and the bus is moving, so your position is changing. But you can have another argument and you can say, sir, I am inside the bus and I am sitting in the bus, so I am not moving, so I am at rest. Both statements are correct. statements are correct. So whether you are in motion or at rest will depend on the surrounding. Keep this in mind. Now if you are inside the bus and you take your surrounding only the inside portion of the bus. Okay, what is the inside portion of the bus? The other seats, the window that you are sitting next to, the driver, the co-driver. These are the surroundings inside the bus. And if you are sitting inside the bus quietly, not changing your seat, then if the surrounding is inside the bus, then considering the surrounding, you are at rest. But now if you take your surrounding to be outside the bus also, beyond the windows of your seat, then outside you have the trees, houses, people are there, and street, so many landmarks. So when the bus is moving, the position is changing with respect to the outside surrounding. And if you take your surroundings to be outside the bus, then you are at motion. That is the reason it is said that rest and motion are relative terms. It depends on the surrounding that you select. If you select your surrounding to be only of inside the bus and the bus is moving, so you have selected your surrounding to be inside the bus. Inside the bus, then you are at rest. But if you take your surrounding beyond the bus and outside the windows of the bus, then bus is moving, so you are also moving. Same thing goes for our Earth, our planet Earth. Now if I stand next to this blackboard and I keep on standing for 1 hour here, for 1 hour my position with respect to this blackboard, I am at rest. But our Earth is not at rest. You remember, Earth keeps on rotating and revolving around the sun. So this blackboard is in the room. The room is inside this campus, RMHS campus. RMHS campus is on this Earth. Earth is moving. So I am also moving. So if I select my environment or surrounding to be the whole Earth, then I am in motion. But if I select my surrounding to be only this particular blackboard and I remain still here, then I am not moving, I am at rest. So rest and motion are relative terms. It depends on what environment or what surrounding you select. The surroundings which are around you, what surroundings you select. Depending on that, you can judge whether a particular body is at rest or in motion. Okay, the next thing about motion. When you are describing a motion, we need to know 4 things. What are these 4 things? Let us discuss. First thing is a starting point, or you can say a reference point. Remember, I was talking about the surrounding. Now in the surrounding, there is also a starting point where you begin your motion from. Okay, so that starting point is also called a reference point. Second thing that you have to know is the distance of the body from the starting point. Okay, we will come to it. Third thing, the direction of motion from the reference point. Which direction, this direction, behind it, which direction the body is moving, that is also important while describing a motion. And the last thing is time of motion. How much time the body is taking to move from a particular reference point. So let us come to the first one, reference point. Now when I say reference point, let's come back to that running race example. In the running race, all the runners have to line up in a line. That line is called the starting point line. I think you all have taken part in sports, so you all have the idea about what is the starting point. So all are standing in that line. Okay, their feet have to touch the line. Not the feet doesn't have to cross the line. It has to touch the line, behind the line. Okay, so that line is our starting point. Now, as time passes by and you are still standing there, not moving at all, then with that particular reference point or starting point, you are at rest. Remember that surrounding example that I had said. With respect to the surrounding, if you are still standing there only, not changing your surroundings or not increasing your length from the starting point, then you are at rest. Okay, coming to the second one. When the starter bangs the gun and the runner starts running, okay, in that position, each runner, see, here is the starting point line. Here is one runner. For after 1 second, he is here. After 2 seconds, the runner is here. Okay. Then after 3 seconds, you will be maybe somewhere here. So position is changing with respect to the starting point. This is our starting point. From here, the distance keep on increasing. See, first 1 second, this is the distance. Then after another 1 second, this is the distance. Then after another 1 second, this is the distance. This distance is not same. It keep on increasing from the starting point. So the distance of the body from the reference or starting point is the second thing that you have to know in motion. Third thing, which direction the body is moving. Suppose instead of moving this direction, this particular runner moves in this direction. Then this particular motion and this particular motion is not the same because their directions are different. Okay, so in motion the direction of the body is also important. Okay, if two runners run 1 kilometer long but in two different directions, then their motions are not same. According to physics, their motion is not same. They have to run in the same direction, they have to run the same length, then only we can say that their motions are similar. And the last one is time of motion. In a running race, who comes first? Who comes first? The one who runs taking the smallest amount of time, isn't it? So, the motion is fast if the time taken is less. The motion is slow if the time taken to cover the distance is more. Okay, so in motion, time also plays a very significant part. So these are the 4 points that you need to know while describing a motion. Okay, in the next class, we will discuss types of motion. So today's discussion remains till here only. Thank you for attending today's class.